Okay, so, we're all a little bit nosy, right? Like, we can't help but be interested in the lives of powerful people, especially when they seem to work so hard to keep things under wraps.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's what we're diving into today with Vladimir Putin.
Okay.
There's this wild article from the Daily Beast titled, "Inside Putin's Secret Personal Life and the Wild Lengths He Goes to Keep It Hidden." And, well, the title's pretty self-explanatory.
It does what it says on the tin.
It really does. But it got us thinking. It's not just about the secrecy itself. It's about what that secrecy says about, Putin, his mindset.
Right, how he operates.
Exactly. So the article kicks off by talking about Putin's public image. The tough guy, the ex-KGB agent.
The stronger.
Yeah, exactly. Every little thing, it seems calculated to project this image of power. So, from an expert perspective, why is that so important for someone like Putin? What's the historical context here?
Well, this whole thing about controlling the narrative, it's not new for Russia. You look back at the czars, they were obsessed with this image of divine, absolute power.
Right, untouchable.
Exactly. Any crack in that facade, any sign of weakness, and it could be spun as, see, they're not fit to rule.
It undermines their entire authority.
100%. And I think Putin, whether it's intentional or not, he's tapping into that same playbook.
And that's where things get really interesting, because when you look at Putin's family life, it's like this whole other world shrouded in secrecy. I mean, he acknowledges he has 2 daughters from his first marriage, but they're living under assumed names, completely off the grid. And then you have Alina Kabaeva. The article calls her an open secret. What does that even mean in Russia today?
Okay, so an open secret, it's like this weird thing where everyone knows the truth.
Right.
But no one talks about it, especially if you enjoy breathing.
Right.
It's like this unspoken rule, stick to the official story, even if it's clearly,
fabrication.
Exactly. And Kabaeva was a perfect example. Everyone kind of accepts they're together, maybe even have kids together.
Right.
But officially, silence. It's this bizarre dance between plausible deniability and, well, everyone knowing the truth.
It's bizarre. And speaking of the kids, this report goes deep on Ivan and Vladimir Jr., supposedly Putin and Kabaeva's sons. But here's the thing. Officially, they don't exist. No birth records, no public appearances. What's the deal with that level of secrecy, especially in a regime that's historically used family to boost their image?
It's pretty strange when you think about it. Historically, Russian leaders, they'd use that devoted family man image to gain public support.
Sure, it makes them seem relatable.
Exactly. But with Putin, it's like he's going out of his way to keep his sons completely hidden. It's almost like their existence is a state secret. Makes you wonder, what's he so afraid of?
Right. What's the motivation?
Yeah, is he really protecting them, or is this just another level of control, keeping everything and everyone close to the chest?
Well, and the secrecy, it goes way beyond just, we don't talk about the kids. This article talks about them living in total isolation, heavily guarded residences, the Baldai Palace, travel only by armored train, yacht, or private jet.
No Starbucks runs for them.
Right. And get this. The report mentions a 2-week quarantine for anyone who even comes into contact with the family. I mean, is that COVID paranoia, or is that just classic authoritarian control freak behavior?
I mean, COVID definitely gave him a handy excuse to ramp up the isolation, but let's be real, this level of control, it's totally in Putin's DNA.
Right.
This is a guy who came up through the KGB. Secrecy and control, it's what they do. It's practically hardwired in him. So yeah, maybe health plays a small part, but this feels more like, I need to control every single thing to feel secure.
It's all about minimizing any potential threat. And that control, it even extends to how the boys are raised. No regular school, just private tutors, limited contact with other kids, and even Putin himself doesn't visit that often, according to this report.
Yeah.
And it gets even wilder. There's this detail about Kabaeva having to watch Putin and their sons play hockey through, get this, a one-way glass box, hidden away from the staff. I mean, that's a whole other level of isolation, even for someone like her.
It's kind of disturbing when you think about it.
It's more than just security. It's like, what's the psychological impact of living like that?
I mean, you have to wonder.
Yeah. But here's the kicker, right? With all this effort to control everything, the report also talks about security negligence. Photos of the sons popping up on social media, posted by staff, guests.
Oh, wow.
It's this reminder that you can't control everything, no matter how hard you try.
Especially in the age of social media.
Especially in the age of social media, exactly.
Yeah.
There's always going to be that human element, that loose thread.
Yeah, you can have the tightest system in the world, but people make mistakes.
People talk.
They talk.
and they post.
Exactly.
So we're left with this fascinating but kind of unsettling picture of Putin and his world. All this effort to keep things secret, but why? Is it fear? This need for absolute control, some warped sense of protection? Or something else entirely? It's like the more we try to understand him, the more questions we end up with.
He's a mystery, that's for sure. And this whole thing with his family just adds another layer to it.
It really does. It makes you wonder what else is going on behind the scenes.
Turn the dial to the daily news. Turn the dial to the daily news. Turn the dial to the daily news. Bringing voices, headlines, and shoes. We turn the dial to the daily news.